XFM 104.9. Lovely, that one.
Brilliant, isn't it? The acoustic version of Just Like Heaven from The Cure's double CD
I'm loving it, loving it.
Collection.
Now, again, I broke the rules in the week. I met up with Karl. I had lunch with him. And, we were chatting, and having a cup of tea. And it got onto one of Karl's favourite programmes, was the Tales of the Unexpected.
Ah, of course.
And all I can think is that he's probably the only person in Britain where they were unexpected. I mean, to him, when that twist came in, and he'd go, gee, I can't...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Can't believe
So it was the tree that did it. I mean, he was probably the only... And we were telling all these stories of horror, and he liked horror stories. And I told him this story. And I don't know if this had come across the radio, but I told him this story. It was a short. It was a horror short.
This was a film you saw, was it?
Yeah, yeah. And, what it was, it started off, just there'd been a car crash. You see this horrendous wreck. And you saw it from the point of view of the person in the car. And he was calling for his mate, and he was going, Dave... And he sort of looked over and saw a body without a head that had been thrown. He goes, "Oh no, Dave, Dave!" And then into the field of view came Dave, his mate, and looked at him with a look of horror. And then it sort of went black, and you realised that he was just a head, and it had been his body.
Oh wow!
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, then it came up at the end, at the executions in the French Revolution. People experience consciousness for and he went, "Oh." No, he said, it wouldn't be for that long. And then he went, if it was a chicken, it would work. Imagine remaking that film, but it's two chickens in horrendous car crash.
Their own fault for driving me.
It would work. No, he wasn't having that.
Yeah.
No, it was too long. I think he said, how long was this film? Went, oh no, 5 minutes. He went, no. It would work if it was a chicken.
I like the way that Karl in something like, when you relate an incident like that, he's appalled and offended and annoyed by the people that made it, even though he's never seen it.
Oh, he's annoyed, yeah. Like
I want to see it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But they should have thought it through a bit more.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a favourite, Tales of the Unexpected, one that you remember particularly that shook you up?
Yeah, we were talking about the one on, where, there's some woman in prison. Have you seen that one?
No, I can't remember them all.
Right. This woman's in prison.
Yeah.
And, she gets a bit friendly with the guy who takes the dead bodies out.
Right.
And, he said, I can get you out of here. He said, what you've got to do, right? You've got to, I don't know, at midnight...
When you hear the bell toll, that means there's been a dead body,
yeah, there's been a dead body. So what you got to do is go into, like, the, place where all the dead bodies are, get in the first coffin on the right, and then I'll come along and carry you out, and you can run away and escape, right? So she goes, yeah, alright then. So she hears the bell go.
I'll bury you, right? And then I'll come back later and dig you up.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's the point.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Trust me, Karl, it really matters.
Okay.
Listen, I don't know if I'm gonna ruin this for people at home.
Yeah.
Can I just skip to the end? I would imagine that she gets buried and he doesn't come back, and she has to get buried alive.
Better than that.
Okay.
Yeah, she does it, she gets into the coffin.
Yeah, shh.
Go on.
Right. So she gets in the coffin. And, she's lying there for ages.
She's buried.
She can feel a bit of movement going on, so she's obviously, being carried somewhere, so she's thinking this is it, I'm getting out. And, she's lying there for ages and thinking, why ain't someone coming and lifting the lid off this? Do you know what I mean? Letting me get out. So she's really bored. She gets a lighter out, right? Lights it, to have a look at who she's lying on. It's only the fella who said he'd help escape.
Oh.
How bad is that?
That is... How bad is that?
So it is quite important that she's buried alive then, isn't it? In retrospect, you realise that the jeopardy is that she is buried alive and can't get out.
Yeah.
It makes it so much worse, doesn't it, than just like lying in the morgue and going, actually, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna work.
Look at Karl's face, having told that, he's so pleased. His face is lit up, he's beaming like a child.
Have you seen any?
Is that your favourite horror thing ever?
That's a good one. And,
let's see if anyone knows what the finger is. When that bloke was under the ground, wiggling his finger.
We were talking about one with, some fella who's stuck in the ground or something.
This is a motif I noticed in your particular favourite ones.
Yeah.
Right.
People stuck in the ground. Go on.
Right, so it's
a fella, is it?
Yeah, a fella stuck. Now, I seem to remember it just being his foot, to be honest, being stuck in a hole. And
no, he was under the ground and he got a little thing out of the pavement and he put his finger up and wiggled it to try and attract attention. Then you see a woman come along and her stiletto heel just knocks his finger off.
You see, I'm wondering whether it's the same one as I saw.
Yeah, it could be two like that, couldn't there? It's a...
They were running out of ideas by the last series.
It's a big theme in Hollywood.
Or, what was that one you told me about with the porn? That was a good one.
Oh, this was fantastic, right? Right. There was this,
Sorry, can I just check now? We're just remembering classic episodes of the Tales of
No,
Unexpected
this is important. Well, I saw one, right? I saw one, on Tales of Unexpected, right? And it was, these two gents, what they used to do, they look down the obituaries, and they'd blackmail, the wife or the son of a dead eminent person, like might be a priest or a doctor, or something, and they'd go and they'd say, he bought some, erotic, stuff from us, before he died, and he owes, 100 guineas and all this sort of stuff. And they'd pay up because it'd be so embarrassing. They just didn't want them, so they'd just pay him, right? And this one bloke said, who are these people? I'll meet with them. And he goes round there, and he goes round, and, they go, your father, he goes, my father could not have bought any erotic material from you. They did it, he goes, he couldn't have, he's blind. Right, and that was the twist. And Karl went, so it was magazines, not videos then.
Yeah. Now think about it, Steve. Is that so stupid?
Well, presumably it was set in olden times because people, professional pornographers don't tend to call it, you know, erotic material.
Yeah.
They tend to call it, you know, juicy jugs or whatever. But more than that, I don't understand how a video is going to be any use to a blind person either. I know that you can hear the sound, Karl. Look at him nodding like he's caught me out.
Yeah, what sound will you hear? Do 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 do. Your meter needs looking at? Yes. Cut. What's then? What's that? Then it's just noises, isn't it?
Occasional groans.
Yeah.
Right.
You could listen through the wall at your neighbours.
He does.
I mean, that's why I save a lot of money. But I thought you were going to point out, Karl, that they could have had a braille porno. Now, have you thought of that?
Look, feel the lumps on that.
Exactly. Think about it, Karl.
Think about it.
You're excited now.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's away, Karl.
Yeah, the cheese grate is only under the cupboard.
Now, she's a good-looking lady.
Oh.